That Radio Chick, Cheryl Lee here. Welcome to the Still Rocking It podcast, where we'll have music, news reviews and interviews with some of our favourite Australian musicians and artists. We are spoilt for choice when it comes to the work put out by this man, Ashley Naylor. He is relentless, producing work like a man possessed. For such a talented man, performing in so many different shows with so many different bands, he is such a genuinely nice guy and hardly possessed at all. We hardly had time to talk about all of his adventures. Please enjoy as we get to know a little bit more about guitarist and singer-songwriter Ashley Naylor and his new work. To catch up on podcasts from other favourite artists, simply go to thatradiochick.com.au. You're Cheryl Lee, That Radio Chick, and I'd like to welcome into the Zoom room today, I think, one of the busiest men in rock and roll, Ashley Naylor. Welcome, Ashley. Thanks for chatting to us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. One of the busiest. I love that.
I've been looking at your socials and what you've been up to and what you're yet to be up to, and it's worn me out. I need a nap.
Yeah, I try and factor a nap in every day.
Oh, good on you.
If I can.
I saw a post last month that there's only 64 opportunities to see you perform.
It's ridiculous. That was a little publicity stunt my brother pulled on me.
Oh, my goodness. Not only you've got a lot coming up, but last month I noticed you did Hendrix at the Cherry Bar and Bowie at the Odeon. You don't sit still much, do you?
Well, I can't, because you know what it's like. If you've got to keep playing, otherwise you'll lose your touch. And I have to keep playing for a multitude of reasons, primarily to maintain some kind of capability. And then also because it's my chosen profession, I have to keep playing as well because...
Pay the bills?
Well, the car rego doesn't pay itself, right?
Exactly. For those that may not know, you're everywhere, man. Guitarist for The Church, Paul Kelly, The Stems, Rock Whiz Orchestra, beloved Melbourne band Even, Ashley Naylor Spaceship, The Grapes, Ronson, Hang Up, Monterey Honey. You've played with Victor and Linda and Tim Finn and The Sports and Fanny Lumsden and The Countdown Spectacular. The list is mind-boggling.
I guess it is when you condense it down to that, little soundbite. But as you know, there's 12 months in the year and I can't do one of those things week in, week out. They all coincide with each other. And one thing that I have to sort of try and manage is my diary and make sure that if there's something I want to do that I can accept it or not. Yeah, I just feel very fortunate because I've got a lot of friends at my age, like mid-50s, who are, I wouldn't say languishing, but highly skilled musicians and highly talented people who haven't had the opportunities that I've had. So I sort of feel like any opportunity that presents itself to me, I'll do my best to accept it. Within reason, of course, like you can't say yes to everything. Like getting back to that first chat we had, I'm the kind of personality type that has to be busy.
Clearly. And I was going to say, you must have great time management skills.
They're getting better as I get older, I think. Certain things are getting better, certain things are getting worse.
We've got some exciting things to talk about, but I also noticed, and I didn't realise this, that you were the music director for Give Peace a Chance, the honour of words and music about John Lennon that has just been all over the place, including our wonderful town.
Yeah, getting back to this word opportunity, that was an opportunity that came before me. And because I'd had experience doing these kind of musical direction jobs with ABC and under the great tutelage of Pete Luscombe and James Black at Rockwiz, kind of learned over the years how one should conduct oneself if you get such a job. You're there to sort of delegate, and director is such a nebulous word. Like I don't consider myself a director as such, but more like a coordinator, I guess. So part of my job was to get a band together.
Yeah.
And hopefully instill enough confidence in each member to feel comfortable doing their own thing within the realms of what is required. Yeah, that was a great tour. I mean, I grew up on Beatles and Lennon music, so it was right up your alley. Right up my Strasser, yeah.
I was only disappointed that I wasn't able to get along to see it. Do you think it might come around again?
I really hope so. There was talk of it. The producers were very happy with the way it went. And we got to play the Festival Theatre in Adelaide, which was incredible. Like, I've been going to Adelaide for 40 years, but every time you get to play a venue like that, it's a real privilege. Yeah. And the fact that the decor on the inside is probably the same as it was when the building was constructed is for me, that's mind-blowing too.
You're just excitedly announcing a new album called Alexandria Sunset. Is this the third release, third single, As Good as Gold?
Yeah. I can't call them feature tracks. I don't really think of singles anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
When I think of singles, I think of 70s and 80s and 90s radio. I don't really think of, I guess, obviously, as you know, the Billboard Top 100 is full of singles, inverted commas, but I'm 55 years old. I'm not trying to compete in that market. So
the landscape has changed, hasn't it?
It has.
It's all different releasing material now than it was.
That's right. And when you upload your song onto the portal through my digital distribution company, there's no option. It's either album or single. You can't just have featured track or album track. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm sort of drip feeding the audience, however big or small that may be.
You're teasing them, are you?
Well, no, just I don't know, just sort of like a dripping tap, you know, tap that keeps on dripping. And the album will come out in early September. And yeah, everything that I do is kind of leads to this point of me putting out my own records, you know?
Yeah. And this is your first solo recording in over 10 years. And one of the most amazing things to me is that you play and sing every single note on that album. It's you. It's you, baby. That's it.
It's pretty crazy, but, you know, when you're doing a demo or something of a song, you tend to do everything yourself to get an idea up and running. At this time round, I don't really do demos anymore because, I don't know, I just sort of figure if you've got a germ of an idea for a song, try and record it as best as you can when the song is fresh. And so I kind of adopt that philosophy now. So basically what I've got is a bunch of songs that grew from nothing in the studio, and then I got my friends Tim and Finn to mix them for me to make them listenable. Yeah, but I mean, I guess I figured while I've got my faculties, I'll do a record where I can play everything on it. Because you learn from the masters, you know, you like the modern day version of someone who does it is Kevin Parker from Tame Impala. He does all the stuff himself. You know, my mates like Davey Lane and Wes Fuller, they do the records themselves and bring mates in to play them live. And I've done a bit of that in the past. And it's just one of those things. Once I decided this record was going to be a solo record, inverted commas, I just stuck to my guns. But that said, there's a record being made at the same time with friends.
You're doing 3, aren't you? 3 albums all at once. You're good at multitasking as well.
Like I learned from the masters, you know, having played with Paul Kelly since 2007, by osmosis, you watch and learn how these people go about it. And sometimes you try and concentrate on one project at one point in time. Yeah, so I got 3 records on the go, but obviously this one's finished first. The other ones are in, you know, different states of completion.
You keep busy, that's for sure. So the other releases were Donovan Dreams and Blue Sky. Tell us about Donovan Dreams. I find that one really fascinating.
When I started, it was an instrumental for a couple of years, actually. It sat on my hard drive for a couple of years as an instrumental. And every time I played it to myself to listen to it, I thought it sort of reminded me of that sort of late 60s Donovan kind of groove, you know, like Barabajaggle or something like that with the Jeff Beck group, something that's groovy and a bit trippy. It just made me feel, it gave me a similar feeling that I would get if I listened to a Donovan track. It doesn't necessarily sound like a Donovan track, but, you know, I'm still hung up on 60s and 70s rock. So
aren't we all?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's built to last.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore, although you are.
We try. Yeah, I've always liked Donovan, and I guess he kind of takes a bit of a backseat to a lot of the more iconic singer-songwriters of that era, like Bob Dylan and, you know, Leonard Cohen. And it's not for me to say, but he probably doesn't get the accolades he deserves because he's brilliant. And that song kind of just sort of grew out of an instrumental. But I wanted to be a bit dreamy and a bit trippy like a Donovan song, you know?
Can I just cut you? Don't look at my Ugg boots. Sorry, someone's at the door. My dad's deaf. He can't hear them. None of them are for me.
Don't you hate that?
They're all for the children.
Yeah, that's often the way at our joint too.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I'm wearing my Ugg boots too. If it makes you feel good. Yeah.
Snap. Where were we? Apart from all the recording that you've been up to, you're a very busy touring man as well. You've got tours coming up with Paul Kelly in August and September, the church in November, December. After all these years, do you love the touring, the live performing?
I love the live performing. The touring, it's a necessary chore. Yeah, but I think as you become older in this game, you try and devise ways to alleviate that the mundaneness of the travel. And that might mean committing yourself to reading a book as opposed to just scrolling through your phone, or just trying to make some tweaks to make sure that the travel experience is a positive one. Like lately, this sounds really dumb, but I've been putting earplugs in and eye patches, just trying to make every flight a chance just to shut down, as opposed to overly stimulate myself on a flight. So, I guess for me, it's about ways of maintaining inner calm before you throw yourself into the machine of touring. And that involves being shuttled around and, but that said, it's what we live for. It's what we all dreamed about as teenagers. Like, I can't complain. I won't complain because it's all I ever dreamed of, and now I get to do it.
Talking about when you were a young lad with these dreams, is music in your family? Is it in your DNA? When did you realise that this was going to be your thing?
It's a great question. No one in my family played when I was growing up. My cousin Tony, actually, he had a guitar and an amp, and he was like my idol when I was a kid. We still, get on well, and he comes to some of my gigs, and we did a song together at my brother's 50th birthday. So Tony was kind of like my beacon as an adolescent. Through Tony and my brother, we sort of got into 70s rock like Kiss and ABBA, and, and I guess I got the bug early, but I think it only dawned upon me in my mid-teens when I stopped playing sport that was like a pathway to music. Was
there ever a plan B if like this music thing hadn't worked out for you?
Well, I wanted to be a graphic artist at some point, but when I did all my interviews after VCE, all the places I went to, I think a couple of institutions I went to, they said, "Have you considered doing another year of TAFE?" And I took that as a kick in the guts, meaning my folio wasn't strong enough. So I thought, well, stuff that, stick to the music.
Yeah, it was meant to be by the sounds of it.
Possibly so. You can't take these things for granted, though. Like, it's a gamble. Like, if you throw yourself into being a full-time musician, it's an absolute gamble. But so far I've been very fortunate.
It's a credit to you that you've been able to continue to work so much and have such a great body of work over all of these years. Well done.
Thank you. That's very kind of you to say that. When you're doing it, as all musicians could attest to, when you're so busy just trying to make every gig the best it can be, and make sure you get all your affairs in order and get your diary in order. There's so much more to it. Yeah.
We can pre-order this album, can't we?
Yes. The link hasn't been put up online yet, but that'll be coming up in the next week or so.
I think we can get it from Bandcamp.
Yes, that's right. Yes, through Bandcamp.
So far.
Yeah.
Also, if you'd like to catch up on what else Ashley is up to, you can check out the socials. Ashley Naylor Official on Facebook, Ashley Naylor Official on Insta, and the same on YouTube as well if you want to catch some of Ashley's music.
Nice one.
Was there anything else that you wanted to mention, Ashley?
Oh, no, thanks. That was lovely
specifically?
Chat. No, it was a lovely chat we had. Thank you.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us today, and all the best with all the things. Ashley Naylor coming up.
Thanks for having me.
I'll see you down the front sometime soon.
You are listening to Still Rocking It, the podcast with Cheryl Lee.
Let's go out with the new track now, shall we? From the Alexandria Sunset album, As Good as Gold.
You are as good as gold. You are as good as gold.
You're with Cheryl Lee, that radio chick. Thank you so much for joining me on the Still Rocking It podcast. Hope to catch you again next time. Get out when you can, support Aussie music, and I'll see you down the front.